Hello and welcome to Exploring the Holos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome to the new and improved Holos Studios here in Greenville, Wisconsin. My name is Andy and welcome to Exploring the Holos. Make sure you like and subscribe and share if you think that anybody else needs to hear this information. So let's get into it. As you may or may not know, Halloween, October 31st, is the beginning of shadow season on the Neogenian calendar, I guess you could say. What is shadow season? Shadow season is when you reflect on your inner shadow. It's a time to acknowledge that shadow, that it exists, and integrate it into your life. The reason for doing this is because if you don't, it tends to build up and boil over, causing you to explode in rage. What was the line that Carl Jung, because Carl Jung coined the phrase shadow. Yes, the shadow self, the power self, and the mirror self. I do have more videos on this that I did in the past. You could check those out. Those will probably be more in depth than this one. But I do like to cover this at least once a year at the beginning of shadow season. And so what Carl Jung said was, if one does not acknowledge the shadow, it will rule his life and he will think it is fate. Something to that effect. You know what? I'm going to put the exact quote up here. That is what Carl Jung said. I can never think of this stuff when I'm actually doing the video, and I didn't know that I was going to actually put that quote in here. So I'm pretty sure it's on my last video. So what it is, anything that you repress is shadow content. Could be anger, any kind of behaviors that are undesirable, and you don't express them. They go into your psyche, and they build up over time, and you need to integrate those in a healthy way, kind of like a relief valve. Otherwise, it will destroy your life. It will cause you to be angry. It'll cause you to bitch at everybody. It can destroy your life, and you want to consciously look at your shadow, face your shadow, and integrate your shadow. I mean, we do this during shadow season, but it should be something that you do ongoing throughout your life. And it's not going to be something that you ever want to stop doing. Otherwise, it can lead to harmful things in your life. So that's why it's important. And why I need to focus on it now. Over the last couple of years, a lot of stressful things have happened. A loss of family members, and of course the disillusion of my marriage, which was very hard, and it's still very hard. And I think that my working on my shadow has helped. This isn't my first rodeo with this. I've been through a divorce before, and it's kind of humiliating to think that, there are two people willing to reject me like this. And it's got me wanting to do a lot of work on myself, looking at myself. And so it's very important for me to not be an angry person. And having going through this a second time, I can see how less angry about the situation I am, even though this time I feel like it's more damaging to me because I'm not a spring chicken anymore. At the age of 48, it's hard to rebuild your life. And, I'm not a perfect person. So I'm not expecting my wife or ex-wife or whatever she is to me now to be a perfect person. So I can't really blame her too much. I feel like other people around me who care for me blame her or more angry at her than I am. Um, I don't want anybody to be unhappy. And if being with me makes them unhappy, then that's a situation that has to end. So it is what it is. And we pick up from the ashes and rise like a phoenix. Well, enough about that. And how I'm going to keep my shadow in check is, first of all, acknowledging the shadow, which I think I've done, and staying occupied and acknowledging the causes of that shadow and why those causes cause me to repress feelings and so on and so forth. But I think that things are going better than expected as far as the shadow and the depression. It was really hard the last 2 months. Has it been 2 months? A little bit under 2 months, but I think we're going to be okay. So I want to thank you guys that have stuck with me. I know these videos have gotten a little bit sporadic, but this is like my therapy, talking to you guys. So, you're going to acknowledge the shadow. You're going to identify the cause, eliminate the cause to the best of your ability. One thing to remember is you're always going to have shadow content. You're always going to have something trying to refill that well of shadow, because we live in a society where you can't act like an animal. You have to act like a civilized person, or you're going to go to jail. You're going to lose your job. And this is irritating, and it makes you repress the things that you want to say to people, do to people. But you have to find a healthy outlet to release that shadow. That's what we call integration. It could be anything like going to a rock concert, hanging out with new friends, drugs and alcohol in moderation. Don't do anything illegal or dangerous. Spending a time with pets. I find this very therapeutic to me. Dogs in general are very calming to me. Or just being out in nature, getting away from the hustle and bustle of society helps. It cleanses my soul. Studying philosophy gets my mind in the right place. I've been doing a lot of listening to Alan Watts. I know he doesn't get everything right. He's more Eastern, I don't know, Buddhist, Hindu type philosophy, but it really calms me and brings me a lot of peace. So I really suggest, if you have turmoil and a lot of shadow in your life, listen to him. It's very soothing. And remember, I'm probably going to end this video on this. Vengeance and payback will never heal the anger within. Only empathy and forgiveness can. And I see this all the time. People go through situations like this and they want to fight back. They want revenge. And when you think about it, what does that really do for them? It may appease their shadow in the short term, but in the long term, it's only going to cause them more stress, because that person they're having revenge against is still living in their mind. The only way to get over someone that you have vengeance for is to forgive them. And if you don't believe me, just try it sometime. And it's worked for me. So, that being said, I hope you are able to understand what I'm saying here and try to integrate your own shadow and maybe heal yourself on the inside. Thanks for watching. On Esther, my friends. For more on shadow integration, check out Psychogenesis by Morg and Wisdom Through Psychology by Arjun Kumar, available on Amazon right now.